It's the beginning of 2020 and I am very excited to see what the world of gaming has to offer. We have games like Final Fantasy VII Remake, Resident Evil 3 and The Last of Us 2 for the PlayStation 4 ahead of us. A high possibility of Bayonetta 3 since Platinum has been teasing new announcements soon, and so many more games we have yet to see. But while we wait for the year ahead, why don't we take a moment to look back at some of the best Nintendo Switch games 2019 had to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my top 10 Nintendo Switch games of 2019. I want to give my number 10 spot to Pokémon Sword and Shield, the newest entry in the Pokémon series. While the core mechanics of the game make it an excellent entry point for newcomers to the franchise, I feel that Game Freak played it extremely safe this generation and the game suffered from it. This is the main reason not to give it a higher spot in my list. While the game suffers from a post-game content crisis, the wild area makes up for it, thanks to raid battles and limited time events which allow you to team up with your friends to battle, defeat, and catch Pokémon that you normally will not be able to, making it a lot easier to catch them all, if that's your thing. In the competitive side, this game offers plenty of quality of life improvements, making it much easier to train your Pokémon for competitive standards, without having to spend hours upon hours breeding and training your Pokémon so you can take them into online battles. It also makes it a lot more accessible for beginners, so they can start playing like the future champs that they are. What do you get when you mix 1930s cartoons with the likes of games like Contra? The answer is Cuphead. This run and gun game not only looks nice, it feels nice. While not for the faint of heart, Cuphead's difficulty might be a tad too high, especially if you're new to this type of games. But what makes Cuphead so good, it's, well, everything. The art style is unique and there is no other like it, making every character burst with personality. Like I mentioned before, the game's difficulty has somewhat of a high bar, but that is not enough to stop you from keep trying over and over. Every boss battle is unique and challenging, with a few of them being some of the best boss battles in gaming history. The biggest success about this is how Cuphead makes you feel like a champ with every victory, making you eager to take on the next level after you poured some sweat and tears to get where you are. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening is a remake of the Game Boy classic of the same name from 1993. The story and elements of the original one are completely intact, and Koholint Island has never been this charming before, with a style that complements the story and theme of the game. The layouts are exactly as you might remember them if you ever played the original. But the best part is that the overworld is not divided into squared sections anymore, making it more fluid and pleasant to travel across the island. The boss battles, while remain the same as the original, feel more vivid and exciting. The game overall retains its original feel, even though it was clearly made in 2019. This game is the perfect example of how a game should be remade, making everything look fresh while still staying true to the original. Never, in my wildest dreams, I ever imagined a Microsoft Studios title being ported to the Nintendo Switch, but I am glad it happened. Ori and the Blind Forest is a phenomenal game with an emotional tale. The Metroidvania style gameplay makes Ori one of the best in this genre. The emphasis on movement rather than combat is what makes Ori and the Blind Forest distinguish itself from these type of games. There is also a series of escape sequences which test not only your newly acquired power-ups, but also your reflexes. If you have never played this game before, now is your chance and hopefully Nintendo gets the sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, in the future. Mario Maker's design was simple enough to make any kid go nuts with its level creating system. Mario Maker 2 takes all that and makes it even wilder, adding new items, new enemies, and new themes. Mario Maker appeals to two kinds of players, those who like to create and those who like to play. If you're on the player side, you will never grow bored, since Mario Maker 2 has over 2 million online courses for you to try out. And that is without mentioning the story mode, which also offers over 90 unique levels, which are only possible thanks to Mario Maker's design tools. If you're on the creator side, this game offers an infinite array of possibilities, allowing you to create not only levels, but also other types of games, and even a working calculator. It's true, you can research it. With all these tools to your disposal, Mario Maker 2 is without a doubt one of the best level editor games ever made. Astral Chain is Platinum Games at its finest. Taking elements from their past works like Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising, Astral Chain delivers a combat experience like never before. Astral Chain's combat system has been shaping to be one of the best in action genre, all while adding its own twist, allowing you to control two characters at the same time. One of the best aspects of this game is that it's not cluttered with action sequences, allowing you to take a few moments while you do detective work and solve puzzles, making you feel like a real cop. The combat system might have a learning curve, even for fans of Platinum games, but once you get the hang of it, you will be pulling out flashing moves making you feel like a combat expert. If you're a newcomer to this type of games, or simply have trouble adjusting to the pace and difficulty of this game, you can always lower the difficulty and enjoy the story. You still have to work as a detective though, so you're not getting off that easily. Luigi games have always been focus oriented. Luigis Mansion 3 is probably one of the best examples of this. There is plenty to explore and puzzles to solve in the hotel. And while some puzzles offer obvious hints, some might make you crack open your head and make you feel like a genius once you figure them out. The graphics are some of the best we have seen on the Switch up to date. Luigi's Mansion atmosphere is scary enough to merit a few jump scares, while not too scary to send a child crying for mommy. This is what I like to call spooky friendly. One of the new features of the game is the ability to summon Luigi, a ghoul-like clone that makes puzzle solving a bit more intricate, be either alone or with a friend. Each boss in the game is also unique and memorable, making use of every skill Luigi possesses in order to proceed to the next challenge. Luigi's Mansion 3 is a definite must-play of 2019. The Witcher 3 on Nintendo Switch is a technological marvel, and it makes a statement that if a company really tries, any game can be ported onto the system. The graphics might not be on par with other iterations of the game. That is not to say they actually look very good, especially considering this is a game that can be played in handheld mode. One of the best parts of this game is the cast of characters, making each one of them intriguing and interesting. The choices you make legitimately have impacts to the world around you. You'll be visiting places you have been to previously just to see the results of your decisions. And while they have no general impact in the main story, it's still nice to know what you did matters within the world of the game. Witcher 3 is one of those games that you can pour over 100 hours into it and still have something new to do. With its engaging combat system and a rich world, it's hard not to submerge yourself into it. Rising from the ashes, Fire Emblem has become one of the most successful Nintendo IPs in recent years. And Three Houses delivers a brutal story full of surprises, with a great cast of characters along with a very well polished gameplay for strategy fans and newcomers alike. There is a big emphasis on choosing the right weapon for the right person, making the role of every character a lot more essential this time around, but not completely forced to, since every character can be any class if you desire. Boss battles can be intense, forcing you to use your best moves and strategies in order to avoid any casualties to your army, especially if you're playing in classic mode, since units do not come back if they fall in battle. Fire Emblem also forces you to make important decisions not only on the battlefield, but also as part of the story progression. With a calendar system, you have to be strategic on how to spend your days, be either teaching your students, teaching yourself, or simply enjoying a cup of tea to increase relationships. Fire Emblem Three Houses truly makes you feel like a teacher caring for your students.
I'll soar away into the dawn. Oh, I wish I could stay here and cherish all in peaceful days. I fear the edge of dawn, knowing time betrays.
My number one will have to be Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition. It's a return to the classic RPG formula, with a simple yet effective plot, in which you are the child of destiny and will save the world. But even though the story is simple, it has its twists and turns that will probably make you yell at the screen in awe. The combat has retained its simplicity, making it a lot more approachable and enjoyable compared to other modern RPGs, which can be saturated with information and gimmicks people don't really read nor understand half the time. With beautiful landscapes, Dragon Quest XI has a beautiful art style, designed by Akira Toriyama himself, the creator and artist of Dragon Ball, just in case you hadn't noticed the similarities by now. And even though it looks slightly inferior to its PS4 counterpart, Dragon Quest XI's Definitive Edition is the version you should be playing, thanks to its exclusive content, more story integration, and quality of life improvements. Did your game make it to the list? Let me know your personal favorite of 2019. As always, thank you so much guys for watching my video. If you really like this video, please give it a like. And if you really like this video, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. And also allows me to keep making more videos. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next video.